the so-called innocent sufferings, or when they are called so, can be divided into two groups. The first one is when an innocent person suffers, when he's being punished, he says, "I didn't do it," and he is being told, "Yes, you did." There are many cases of this kind. As for this, the thought and the answer are as follows. We do many things, many bad things. We can do it by actions, words, or most often by our thoughts. We do so many bad things. Nobody sees that. Nobody knows. And we are never punished. And the life goes on. But there are not just thoughts, but also words. Someone can get slandered. We pass our judgments. We say bad things about someone, tell lies, and someone never even thought of these things, let alone spoke. And it happens very, very often. And we have so many sins. We can't live a single minute in a way we should. Especially in church. We should live properly. But no, during the service, 2 hours, we think of anything else but not God. We think about everything in the world. You understand? So, these so-called innocent sufferings, in this particular case, they're such indeed. A person is innocent in this particular case. The person is not guilty, but they are punished. But in their previous life, the person was guilty. So a Christian understands it perfectly well and says, "Oh Lord, I get what I deserve. Many times in my life, I wish that nobody would know and see my sins, my thoughts. Now, you, my God, you're giving me a chance to suffer unjustly from the people's point of view. It's slander, lies, deception, but I can, at least to some extent, make up for all the undue bad things that I did in my past life." So it is a Christian answer. We are being asked as Christians, and we answer as Christians. This is the way we think, in such a way. And there is one more important point. There are 3 levels of overcoming a sorrow. For instance, injustice. There are 3 levels. The first one, to tolerate. To tolerate, understanding that without God's providence, nothing ever happens. And if God allows this to happen, even though I do not understand why, it is useful, it is for my own good. It is the first level. It is the lowest one, but a very important one. But the lowest one. The second one, if a person is capable of it, if his Christian conscience is high enough for it, he will say, the second level, "Oh Lord, I get what I deserve. I know how sinful I am." The third level, very rarely someone goes as high as it, is, "Thank you, my God. Thank you for what is happening to me right now." These are 3 levels. As for the last one, I would like to tell you, there is a very serious advice, not mine. It's not mine, but that by Holy Fathers. It was exemplified by Ignatiy Brianchaninov in those cases when you have some sorrows, when it is very difficult,
a sorrow grasps your entire soul and heart, you should keep in mind the following. You should make yourself, at least your mind, your tongue, repeat as many times as you can. Thank you, oh God. Thank you. So as many times as you can. You know, we never check anything, we never verify anything, we have no religious experience. Please verify it, do check it. Those who follow this advice claim that gradually a sorrow just gets easier and a soul comes down as well as heart. This is so good. I would like to remind you of the following thought. Christianity. The Christianity doesn't just promise us something unreachable, as our critics often say. No, here it gives us great good here on earth. Do you understand? There, behind the wall, people do not know this advice. But what happens in everyone's life? There's not a single person who has had no sorrows. Sometimes there are such sorrows that make your soul suffer so hard, and the Christian should always remember to say, "Thank you, God, thank you," and you should repeat it. The more, the better. And the result is just unbelievable, because people, when they suffer, they can't sleep or eat, and they get upset, they pass judgments, they start having enemies, they cannot calm down and settle down because they do not know this means. We have this means that poor people do not know. Thousands of times will people come to you with their sorrows. Please do not forget this advice. It will be very useful. So first, these innocent sufferings happen when a grown-up suffers. And of course, in this particular case, they suffer, and it is not fair, but a Christian knows and explains to non-Christians that, what, are you a saint? Are you holy? Saint Mark said, if you do not want to suffer, do not sin. So short and as clear as it gets. Everything is perfectly clear. If you do not want to have your legs or feet wounded, just please don't walk over the broken glass. As simple as that. This is the first group or category of innocent sufferings. The second group is sufferings of children. What sins can children have? There's nothing to talk about. They're in this angelic, innocent state when they do not actually realize what is good or evil. They can do anything, but whatever they do, this is just the way they show their nature. It is a different thing. They do not sin. It is not their will, but nature. They show their nature. So they do not have will in a state when a person could be held responsible. So we're talking of small children. How can they suffer? So what is the situation here? You know, we're used to considering everything and estimating everything from the position of truth, of being just, fairness. But we talked to you about the fact that Christianity opened an amazing truth in understanding of God. God is not truth of fairness. God is love. And when we say of God's truth and fairness and justice, what do we mean? We mean that God is righteous and His love is righteous. So sometimes we see crazy love in people, just insane. And there's a useful story, a historic fact, Decembrist relief. As an infant, he was fatally ill. Doctor said he was fatally ill. His mother started not just praying, but she was in some ecstasy, and she asked God to have mercy on her son. She falls asleep, and she has a dream. There's an angel who points at her son and says, "Look, this is the life of your son." And then the angel shows his life, just shows him as a pupil, as an officer. Then there are some congregations, gatherings, discussions. Khomyakov had a lot of discussions with Ryleev, and Khomyakov discussed in a way that nobody could oppose to him. Even Ryleev ran away from the meeting because he had nothing to answer to Khomyakov. Ryleev wanted democracy and constitution, and Khomyakov said, "You just want to turn everything over and to make something even worse, but you want to get on top." It's just in short. So this Ryleev. Then there's a gathering, some disputes, and at last armies, and in some square there are gallows. Angel tells his mother, "So what do you think? Gallows. So make your choice. Should he live or not?" And she decided, "But anyway, I want my son to keep living." You see, love. Is it love indeed? It ended in this very way, you know. His life ended in gallows. You see, this love, it is insane. You see, this dream was very clear. It happens very often. It wasn't just a dream, it was a real vision. Is it love? Christianity speaks of a different kind of love, not this passionate love, not this crazy love, but it tells of what love? Righteous love. So of the correct love. So what is the correct love? It's love that brings use to a person. So God is this kind of love. He does only good for a person. Do you understand what is truth in God? What is God's truth? What is God's justice? It is the correct love that brings only use to a person. And when people divide, here is truth of God and here is love of God, I do not understand it. You know, if I do something and I act justly, so I do not act as I should act in terms of love. And if there is love, it is unjust. So it's a contradiction. God is the right, correct love that brings use and good to a person. Why do I speak of it? Because regarding the suffering of children, infants, we shouldn't judge and consider them from the point of view of justice. It is so unjust. A child suffers. So you can answer, what does a mother suffer for when she throws herself in fire or in water and she dies trying to save her baby? Can we ask here what for? This is crazy. She's not guilty. These are sufferings of a different character, of a different kind. Not what she suffers for, but why does she suffer? So why? Because of love that Christ taught about when he said that when a person is ready to die for their friends, here is the love which is ready to sacrifice itself. When we speak of children's sufferings, we speak of this. The law of justice is the lowest level of morals. So justice is the lowest level. There is the law of love. So how is it realized here? So we discussed it and we will keep discussing it. The church is a living organism, is one single body organism, a living organism. You remember from Greek and Mia and Pisteo, Agia. So it is the only holy Katholiki, so cathedral church. Kaf and olos. Kaf is a preposition. Olos means integral, united, single. So it means one single organism. So what church is? First in mia means in one, and Katholiki means unite, that cannot be separated. We cannot say of an organism that consists of a nose, an arm, and a leg. No, it is an integral, single unity. And in this organism, every single cell feels everything. It lives and it is happy or it is unhappy because of every other single cell. So one eye gets injured and another eye takes over the functions of the injured eye. The same with ears or any other organs. So, if any single cell suffers and the whole organism suffers, you know, toothache is the best example. Now almost everybody knows. Such sick young people nowadays, they have toothaches, so you know this. It turns out the sufferings of children is a providential God's action when children suffer for those sick cells of this organism, of this body. They suffer for them. This is a sacrifice. They do not realize. They cry, they yell, they do not realize. But then, in afterlife, when they see that God allowed them to suffer for their parents' good, for other people's good, they will always be grateful to God that He gave them an opportunity to suffer for other people. As you know, that sometimes a person is ready to die for someone else and they're ready to prove it. They're ready to do anything to prove their love. If you didn't read such a book as A Silver Night, it's such an interesting novel, amazingly interesting, just take a look. It is greatly described there. A person is ready to suffer in order to prove their love. You see, to prove their love. So from the Christian standpoint, and that's the only standpoint we are asked about, we say yes, God allows not to all the children, but obviously taking in consideration their properties, the qualities of children who are ready to accept the highest glory in God's kingdom for the sufferings that they have gone through on earth as the organs of the only church organism. In this way, I'm just offering a way of answering regarding the innocent sufferings of children. So you should keep this in mind. And I would like to add one thing. If indeed this is not so, if there is no God, there is no eternity or God's kingdom for these children, if it doesn't exist, and if there is just blind game of some random accidents, so this is horrible. What are these sufferings for? Why do they take place? For no reason. So senseless sufferings. Outside of Christianity, the sufferings of children are a senseless violence. They are not meaningless sufferings from the Christian standpoint, but are sufferings that will lead to the eternal glory of these people, and this glory will be worshipped by the reverend, by the holy people, according to Saint Ephraim the Syrian. That's what we have from the Christian point of view, the greatness of innocent children, sufferings of children. I'm answering to the person who asks me from the Christian point of view. In such a way, from the Christian point of view, and from your point of view, meaningless accidents, violence, and this is it.